we spoke to Jason just now. He talked a little bit about the chat you had on Monday morning. How was it from a player's point of view?
I think what we have to realise is we're in a frustrating position. The performances haven't been what we've wanted, and we know that there's certain things that we can change quickly. And as a playing group, we are tightly knit, and we all do get on, and we want to make that change quickly. There's a few things which may take a bit longer, but we have full belief that if we can pull through this, we'll be stronger for it.
I don't know if they do it these days, but in the old days, players would kind of sort these things out on their own in the pub. Has anything like that happened?
There was a few whispers that maybe we should have just had a massive social, but it's been strictly professional here. We're just everybody is desperate to put a good performance out, to turn things around, and I believe that we're going about the right way of doing it, and everyone's buying in, and hopefully this weekend will be an opportunity at home to start that change.
And you're a local boy, came through the academy.
Yeah.
How does the current situation make you feel as a fan as well, I suppose?
Yeah, I'm naturally gutted. Like, I put my body on the line every time I play for Quins. I love the club. It means a lot to me, having been a season ticket holder when I was about 11 years old. Yeah. So it hurts me probably potentially more than others when we do lose, and it does upset me. But look, it's sport. I've been part of this club, and I've won a Premiership title, and there's going to be highs, and we're in a low at the moment. But I have no reason why. I see no reason why going into a new competition. Hopefully, we can right a few wrongs and sort of restart our season, I suppose.
Was that one of the themes that new tournament, still got a chance of qualification? Was that one of the things spoken about?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we've started pretty well in Champions Cup, and we've got a big opportunity at home. We want to put on a good performance for our fans, because we know that they're hurting just like us, and we want to bring some enjoyment to the Stoop. So it's a good opportunity for us going into a competition where we are quite well placed to take a big step forward.
Great stuff. Good luck at the weekend, mate.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, the meeting, Laurie said he came in and spoke to some of the senior players last week, and he had a big meeting on Monday as well. What are those meetings like? Are they quite calm? Are they tense? Do people get sort of annoyed in them and speak up?
No, I'd say, look, there's people who, a lot of us speak up, a lot of us have opinions on the way we play, the way we want to train, but I wouldn't say there's any anger or animosity within the meeting. I think what Laurie wants to do is he wants to have us all on the same page, so we're all fighting for a common goal, which is obviously to get results trending in the right direction.
And do you find that you sort of all have do you all agree on the direction that you want to go and on the performance?
Yeah, I think over the last sort of week or so, and particularly this week, we've spoken a lot about how we want to take our performances forwards, in what areas of the pitch we want to really focus on and target. And look, it's still early doors, and I think there's going to be things that we all see dramatic and fast changes in, and I think there's also going to be things which may take some more time, but that's all right, and I think everybody is on the same page in how we want to do that.
So what do you think, what should fans expect to see fast changes in then?
Well, I think our defence has been disappointing. I think we started last year really, really strong. Our defence was a huge improvement. At the end of last season in the Premiership, we were a top 4 defensive team, and I think we've let ourselves down. I think there was a lot of individual errors within that, but also system. So I think a little bit has been leaning on how are we doing so well at the start, particularly at the start of last season, and taking positives from that and implementing that back in, and almost just stripping it back and doing what we know that we can do best and what we've done before. And attack-wise, of course, we're Harlequins. We want to play an attacking brand of rugby. We want to play with tempo. So speaking a little bit of that, obviously I don't want to go into too much detail, but I like to think that there'll be considerable improvements, and hopefully you'll see that on the pitch at the Stoop against the Stormers this weekend.
So how would you describe the way the team want to defend? And the way it's going to change? Is it new system, or is it
No, we've gone back. So when Jason came in at the start of last year in pre-season, he brought in his how he wants us to defend, and I think we all took to that really quickly, and our defence improved rapidly. And I think potentially individual frustration trying to fix things when it's easy when rugby's not going your way, or any sport for that matter. You try to solve things. I for one try to solve things, and other people on the team, and actually what you have to do is just go back to system. And so what we've done is we've stripped it back. We've gone back to what is our model, how do we want to defend, which is when we were thriving at our best last season, and I see no reason why we can't implement that real quickly and hopefully improve this weekend.
And that basic defensive model, was it like an aggressive rush defence, or?
No, it's we want to play with line speed, but it's definitely not a blitz defence. But obviously, I would respectfully, it's our system, so I'm not going to go screaming and shouting about it before a game on the weekend.
Cool. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Hey Jack, how you doing?
I'm doing well, mate. Thank you.
I just wondered, obviously there was a couple of senior players who left at the end of last season. Have you felt a kind of added responsibility to step up and sort of be a louder, bigger voice in the dressing room?
Absolutely. I think it sort of dawned on me probably this season that I am becoming a senior player, if not am one already. Which is a little bit scary, having come through the academy. It sort of still feel like I'm one of the 18-year-olds in the changing room. But I know that there's I have a big role to play within the group, and that having been there, I've been in positions like this before, and so yeah, I suppose there has been a little bit that I'm trying to bring into my game about my sort of leadership. I'm sort of one to lead, for example, on the pitch. But yeah, it's definitely something I'm trying to push, just from an individual perspective, is that leadership side of things.
And you talked about how much the club means to you as someone who was a season ticket holder, as an 11-year-old, etc. Is it part of it trying to impress that upon new people who've arrived and trying to get that buy-in from them to try and improve performances?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't really say so. Like, I think Quins is a massive club with a huge amount of history, and I think it's very easy, obviously, for academy boys who have grown up around here, come through, who feel that sort of sense of belonging within the club. But I also don't think that boys within the club, or boys coming in or having joined fresh at the start of the season, really need to be sat down. I think when you sign for Quins, you know you're signing for a massive club, a club with a load of history. And, you know, when having been around a lot of them and a lot of the guys who have joined new, they feel I don't know what the right word would be, but they feel how passionate we are for the club, and I think they really buy into that as well.
Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Just back to a question for you. When you said players want to try and fix things on the pitch and maybe get out of the structure or the system, what does that? What do you mean when you say that?
I think there's been a few times when guys are biting in on. It's sort of hard to explain. But for example, if there's a lead runner, so if I'm Finn Smith with the ball and I've got someone running hard off of me, and I'm a defender and I'm body in front with him, the guy outside me has to trust me to make that tackle. He doesn't need to come in and then shorten our defensive line. And I think there was a few examples where we were jumping in a little bit, which meant there was a lot of space outside of us. And I think that's kind of what I mean. There was a few occasions when probably 3 Northampton Saints tries came as a result of us jumping in on that lead line when actually we need to trust one another. We don't need to solve the problem ourselves.
Yeah. And it's trust. How do you build trust within a...
I think what we're trying to do, particularly at the start of this week, is go back to our foundation of our defence. And so if everybody knows what their role is, that person outside won't feel like they need to jump in because they know that that person knows what he's doing. So what I suppose we're hoping, and we're going to train, we've trained today, but we'll train particularly hard tomorrow, is that we'll see those improvements and we'll understand and we'll have that trust within our system because we know everyone's on the same page. And I think just revisiting our basic principles will hopefully have helped that.
And just out of interest, there's a lot of teams in all sports now where you get coaching changes and you're trying to see them trying to adapt quickly. Do you reference any other teams or any other sports in your meetings?
In what sense? In terms of looking at other rugby teams and how...
Just in general, just how teams can change, quickly within a season. I
don't think we've referenced it particularly, but we know. I mean, the Premiership, Exeter are flying this year, and last year they probably underperformed to their standards, and they're playing well this year, and you've seen a massive improvement in them. I mean, look at Bath as well. You don't have to go that far back to see where they were in the league to what they're sort of doing now and the way they're performing. So I don't think it's... I think everybody knows that this is professional sport. Things do change and they can change very quickly.
Cool. Thanks.
Paul, anything from you to wrap up, or?
Yeah, if I may, just a couple. I was going to ask that question anyway, because I mean, all the top four, Jack, this decade have spent periods where you are now. Yeah. Northampton struggled last season. Bristol have had their problems. Bath and Leicester were bottom for a while.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously you take a little bit of comfort in knowing that it does happen to the best teams, and you can't let it get you down too much. We say, you can never get too high after a win and never too low after a loss. You have to sort of go back to that middle ground, and that's professional sport in a nutshell.
Yeah. And is this sort of, where for you and a number of others in Quins, you sort of Six Nations is coming up, you're pushing to make the England squad, but the sort of the form Quins have been in could count against you?
I suppose so. I know what I need to do. I know within my game what I'm working hard on. I've spoken with coaches at England. So all I can do is give my absolute best to the club, and hopefully that will improve my chances of getting selected for England, and it will also improve the club's chances of sort of turning around these last few frustrating results.
Yeah, and the Stormers. I mean, they've got the South African outside half.
Yeah.
In terms of your defence, they will pose, I suppose, similar questions to Northampton. So you're going to have to get it really spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, hopefully we can take all our learnings from the Saints and implement them so that we're better prepared for the Stormers.
And lastly, from me, Jack, I mean, you said you were season ticket holder as a lad. I mean, obviously, a lot of your friends would be Quinn supporters. What are the sort of things they're saying to you?
Don't know whether they'll be completely honest with me, because my friends are nothing but positive, and one of my best mates who's a season ticket fan would never have a bad thing to say, particularly about my individual performances. But I know that he'll be upset. I know that plenty of my friends will be frustrated, but I think they also see that sport swings and roundabouts, and hopefully, I keep saying to the fans, I spoke to a lot of fans after the game when we played in Sale and at Northampton. I said, stick with us, because we will turn this around, and we're doing everything we can to turn it around. Yeah,
because I mean, the bulk of that starting lineup at Saints, full internationals, Jack.
Yeah.
So the quality is there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Go well on Sunday.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.